current state of the gaming industry and how it's become all about monsters and weird-looking stuff. The rise of monsters. Let's be real. The gaming industry is obsessed with monsters. It's like every other game has some kind of creature that wants to eat your face. And don't even get me started on the weird-looking enemies in some of these games. It's like the developers are trying to see how disgusting they can make them. Now, before you start throwing tomatoes at me, I know there are some good games with monsters. Resident Evil is a classic for a reason, and Death Stranding is a unique and thought-provoking experience. But even those games have their fair share of creepy creatures. The decline of story. I think the reason the gaming industry is so focused on monsters is because it's easier than writing a good story. It's like throw some monsters at the screen and let the players figure it out. But that's not what gaming is about. It's about the characters, the world, and the emotions you feel while playing. There are still some great games out there that don't rely on monsters to tell their stories. Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, Need for Speed, FIFA, and Detroit Become Human are all examples of games with compelling narratives and engaging gameplay. I'm not saying that all games with monsters are bad, but I do think that the industry is getting a little too obsessed with them. It's starting to feel like every game is the same. I'll give credit where credit is due. Control has some amazing gameplay mechanics, and the world building is impressive even though the enemies are a bit weird. And Diablo is a classic action RPG that's still fun to play today, even though the monsters are, well, demonic. Here are some more examples of games without monsters that I think deserve some love. Max Payne, a classic action game with a dark and gritty story. Hitman, a stealth game where you can take out your targets in creative ways. Mafia, a gangster game with a great story and atmosphere. The Last of Us, a post-apocalyptic game with a touching story and emotional characters. God of War, an action-adventure game with a visceral combat system and a mythological setting. So there you have it. What do you think about the current state of the gaming industry? Let me know in the comments below.